Within the definition, the digital evidence part is the key. Digital evidence can be many things, and the definition seems to be growing daily. We will discuss digital evidence in more detail in the next module, but here are a few examples. It is important to note that digital evidence exists in many of the devices that you own, or in the services that you use daily. Some of this evidence can be found in your phone, on the web, your laptop, even on the services that you use. The list goes on and on. The techniques to obtain, store, and present this digital evidence are growing, and therefore the field of digital forensics continues to grow and evolve. This field has many applications in our world today. Because of all these applications, it is crucial to understand digital forensics and how it relates to every application. These applications include law enforcement, corporations, and government. When thinking about law enforcement, since digital forensics is essentially turning digital evidence into legally usable items, it directly relates, doesn't it? What about in a business? Most, if not all, businesses use digital technology, right? How useful do you think digital forensics could be if there was corporate espionage going on? Or what about something so simple as an employee breaking the acceptable use agreement of their laptop? Digital forensics could be used to verify, and if needed in court, prove that the inappropriate use was occurring. Finally, think about the government. There is a lot of sensitive data within the various agencies that could seriously harm people. Digital forensics could be used to verify and stop data exfiltration once detected. One thing that I find interesting is that as our technology becomes more available, our students get their hands on it much more. This creates a need in the educational space as well. Hello again, and welcome to the next module in the Big Picture course for digital forensics. In the previous module, you were introduced to digital forensics and some of the concepts within it. In this module, we will be discussing in detail the different branches within the field. It is important to recognize these branches in their own ways due to the differences between them with regards to what skills and knowledge are necessary to be able to be successful within the branch, along with what digital evidence belongs in each one. Remember, digital forensics is part of the forensic sciences. It is just one of the many subdivisions of forensic science, along with others such as computational forensics, forensic engineering, and art forensics, just to name a few. Now let's put you in a scenario where you are able to see the impacts of each branch of forensics as we walk through them. Let's say that you are a new employee of Globomantics, a Fortune 500 company. As a new team member on the IT team, you are tasked with reviewing the company's procedures with regards to responding to incidents within the organization's IT infrastructure. These incidents can range from an external attack to an accidental internal spillage. As we go through the branches of digital forensics in detail, we will get a chance to identify some of the ways that different employees on your team may be responsible for areas within those procedures due to their knowledge level or due to the organizational task delegations. We will fill in each piece to this hierarchy as we go through it until we get the big picture. Coming up in this module, we will be discussing the digital evidence in a little more detail and show how it can easily fit into any of the branches depending on the type. We will be learning about the 5 branches of digital forensics, and we will start with the network branch, then move into computer, mobile, database, and finally, data forensics. Let's get started.